You are listening to Dark Conversations,
where we watch and play games that keep us up at night.
Where horror, paranormal, and crime collide together. Nothing's ever quite what it seems.
Tonight, we are watching a movie and playing games in the dark, so turn your lights off.
Be comfortable and
let's dive into the abyss.
My movie is When a Stranger Calls, kind of like a babysitting movie, so I went with drinks, soda as our drink, our appetizer is popcorn, our main course is pizza, and our dessert is cookies. Because every time you hear about babysitting or anything on movies and TVs, they always watch a movie and eat popcorn. They always have a soda with some pizza. They're like, here, order some pizza, give the money. And sometimes they have dessert, and when they do, it's usually cookies. So that's what I went with. I'm going to post a menu. Actually, we'll be posting all the menus every time. I did not actually cook any of this. I'm guilty, and I decided to order everything from Domino's, one of my favorite pizza places. And that will be the end of our cooking segment. I did 2 mini cases, so spoiler, if just in case you want to do them, do not watch the rest of this video or listen. I got free mini case from Unsolved Case Files, 2 of them. This one is Jack Lumbersky, and the other one is about Catherine Fox. So if you'd rather do those yourself instead of listening to us try to solve them and give away the answers, then you should stop watching this, listening to this, and go download it yourself first and then come back and listen to our episode. Have fun.
Okay, our movie is When a Stranger Calls, and then our dinner was pizza, popcorn, soda, and cookies. And then our game is a murder mystery.
Yeah!
So let's do this one. Let's do this one last.
I'm super excited.
Okay. That one last. This one I think all goes together. Yep. There we go. We'll do the mini cases first.
I hope the mini cases aren't mini cases that I also got, because those look like some of the ones that I did.
We only had one mini case.
Okay, what's the first thing?
Okay. Here's case number 1. So this is a prove who killed Catherine Fox. And don't forget, don't get loud.
We have kids here tonight.
Okay. That is who got murdered.
She's pretty. I guess I'll read the first one.
If you want.
Okay.
Look at her dead body.
Well, there's no blood. So. Oh, but she got strangled. Okay. Murder mystery author mysteriously murdered. Best-selling author Catherine Fox, most famous for her critically acclaimed novel, The English Professor's Last Word, is dead. She was found strangled to death in early morning hours of November 23rd at Crooked Cottage, the former home of late queen of the murder mystery Agnes Christoph, not Angus. Sources reveal that Mrs. Fox was being blackmailed, and Detective R.D. Bradbury of Lanesborough Police Department believes the blackmail ties directly into her murder. He confirmed there are 3 suspects he's speaking with. Information on who the suspects are or why she was being blackmailed is being kept under wraps at this time of the investigation. Several years ago, Mrs. Fox was the former live-in nurse for Agnes Christoph. It has often been remarked how much Catherine Fox's writing style mimics that of her late employer. In a recent interview on the subject, Mrs. Fox stated, "During Agnes's late years, she and I became very close. As I provided her with round-the-clock health care and companionship, she taught me everything I know about writing. I will be eternally grateful for her influence on my career." I'm going to say she probably stole this woman's book.
I mean, that's kind of what it says in this letter. It says, I found a copy of my grandmother's last book and can prove you stole it. Meet me at Crooked Cottage at midnight tonight with $500,000 in unmarked bills. Come alone or all your fans will find out you're a fraud.
I called it before I even knew it. So
and then these are the suspects. This says, Dear Detective Bradbury, if you're reading this letter, it means I have been murdered. One of these 3 people is responsible for my death. Edgar, Alfred, and Gina, which is what's on there.
I'm going with Edgar because he seems the youngest.
You think so?
And his name is also Christoph. I know Alfred is also Kristoff, but it says grandmother. And that looks like it could be her son.
I don't know. Allow me to explain. Several years ago, I was a live-in nurse to Agnes Kristoff, the world-famous murder mystery writer. I can honestly say I owe my career to her, quite literally, because the book which brought me fame and fortune as an author, The English Professor's Last Words, was not actually written by me. It was written by her. You see, Agnes died before she could publish it. She had become a very private person in her last years, and didn't even let her publisher know she'd been working on something new. I was by her side day and night, and while she created her final masterpiece, Agnes bounced ideas off of me, many of which she used in the story. She said I had a knack and should try my hands at writing something. Her only living relatives were her 3 grandchildren, who never once took the time to come see her, yet had no problem taking the time to cash the checks she sent them each month. Her health severely declined toward the end of 199. That's what it looked like. And I honestly think she was only holding on to finish the book. She passed away in her sleep the morning after. Interesting. Okay. The morning after writing the last chapter on July 1st, Thursday. It says 71 and it has like 99, but there's a 3. There's a 2 in that one. Okay, we're going to circle these because they're weird.
Those are really weird.
I mourned her greatly as she became like a mother to me. When I informed her grandchildren, instead of grief in their voices, I heard a jubilation. Instead of asking when the funeral was, they wanted to know when the will would be read. I couldn't let them cash in on her final masterpiece, so I packed up my things along with the manuscript and left. I later submitted the manuscript to a publisher under my own name, and the rest is history. Flash forward to present day. Apparently, Agnes made a copy of the English professor's last words I never knew about, and one of her 3 greedy grandchildren found it. They sent me the enclosed blackmail letter threatening to expose me unless I paid 500,000. I feared for my life, but couldn't risk coming to you first, as I knew my career would be ruined if word got out. Since you are reading this, I must have made the wrong decision. Please do everything you can to find out who blackmailed me. Agnes would not have wanted one of the grandchildren to profit from my death. I only hope she forgave me for profiting from hers. Yours truly, Catherine. So that's that. This is the only witness statement. Charlotte, not one of the things.
But I did read these.
Okay, what does it say?
So these are just like where they were. He was at the Les Funeral Home at midnight on November 23rd. And it said he went in there I went into it, the business, because the people who prepared his grandmother's body did a horrific job, and he wanted to fix it. This guy said he was fast asleep, and she said she was working on a student paper.
Okay, well, let's see what the witness statement says. It says, I've been Mrs. Fox's publisher these past 7 years. We've become like family. Yesterday, she brought an envelope to my office and matter-of-factly told me that in the event of her death, I was to hand it over to Detective R.D. Bradley of the Lansbury Police. I was shocked and asked what she was talking about. She said one of the Agnes Kristoff's grandchildren was blackmailing her, but she refused to get into specifics. She was to meet the blackmailer at midnight at Crooked Cottage, where Miss Kristoff had spent her last remaining years. I told her to call the police, but she wouldn't hear. Okay, first off, where do they all live?
Okay, so Edgar lives Usher Street,
Well, does it say the state?
Illinois. They all live in Illinois.
Okay, do they all live in Chicago?
It doesn't say. Yes, Chicago.
Oh, okay. Well, that don't help. Anyways,
Oh, he's widowed. That's
I
weird.
told her to call the police, but she wouldn't hear of it. She was adamant she needed to go alone and made me promise to stay far away from there. Then she left to get the money she needed from the bank. I was worried about Catherine, so there was no way I wasn't going. I just wish I got there in time to do something. Just as I arrived at the cottage, I saw a dark figure fleeing out of the side door and into the woods. At first, I thought it was Catherine, but once I crept up to the cottage and looked in the window, I saw her lifeless body on the floor. Terrified for my own life, I ran back to my car, locked the doors, and called the police. I can't believe she's gone. She taught me everything I know about writing, and because of her influence, I just finished my first novel, which I'll be dedicating to her in her memory. Okay.
Does it describe the
Nope, that's it.
figure at all?
No, it just says a black figure. Okay. So, sorry taking this from you. Okay. So you think it was Edgar. So let's look at Edgar.
Don't know if it was Edgar anymore.
Yeah, no, but you pointed at his picture and you said, I think it's this guy.
Because I thought, it was very much...
Are you choosing it because of the way he looks?
No. I was choosing it because of his age, but then I looked at his age and he's not as young as I thought.
Well, they're all her grandchildren. So.
Yeah, I didn't know that either at the time.
Okay, so Christoph, Edgar, Allen. Interesting. Home address is Usher Street. Don't need to know the phone number. Don't care about that. He's a widow. Born in 1961. So what is this? So it looks like a 2, 99 and 2, 99 and 3. Timeout. Okay. So 2 and a 3. I don't know. For some reason, I'm suspecting the editor. Okay, but then wait. Read this again and see. Wait, does it say what car? I was worried about Catherine, so there was no way I wasn't visiting or going. I just wish I got there sooner to do something. Just as I arrived to the cottage, I saw a dark figure fleeing out the side door and into the woods. At first, I thought Catherine was Catherine, but I crept to the cottage, looked in. I ran back to my car, locked the doors, and called the police. It doesn't even say what her car was, or if she's seen any other car. Okay, so individual statement at 12:01 a.m.
They're all 1201.
Why does the police report not have a time? I was at Lee's funeral home at midnight on November 23rd. Year's flu killed several of the town's elderly, and we were having 3 funerals the next day, so I was working late preparing bodies. I went into this business because the people who prepared grandmother's body did a horrid job. Spare people's loved ones from seeing what we saw. Wait, that makes no sense. So
He works at a funeral home.
Did you not hear what I said?
No.
Hang on, let me see this. So it says, if you're reading this letter, it means I have been murdered. One of these 3 people is responsible for my death. And it's all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on, wait a second. Where does it say that? Her only living relatives were her 3 grandchildren, which is Edgar, Alfred, and Gina. This says, I went into this business because the people who prepared grandmother's body did a horrid job. Your grandma just died. How did you just get into this business?
No, I think grandma died a while ago. That's what I was trying to figure out. When did grandma die? Because I think she died either in 93 or 99 or 92. But when was...
The police report happened in 2000.
2000. So she died in 93.
Well, this guy was born in 61.
They were all born. But I was looking at his history. He's been working here for 7 years.
He was born in 58.
I do just know that this woman has horrid handwriting. End of I'm going to assume that's 92, and she passed away in 93. Honestly, my hunch is we're not going to find any evidence in here.
I bet it's Catherine.
I was going to say the same thing.
I mean, Gina.
The same thing. My hunch is because of the book, The English Professor, and she's an English professor. That was my only connection that I was getting from that. I thought maybe something... The way that she looks like she was strangled, it looks like the hands were up instead of down as well.
Yeah, but we don't know how tall she is. That will play a factor in on how actually someone strangles.
Well, if you look at it, you can tell what I mean.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if they're taller than her, yeah, it'd be easy. But if they're shorter than her,
That's why
not
I think
going to be that easy.
Gina.
But we don't know how tall she is.
That is true. She was also wearing heels. My hunch is Catherine. Or Gina. Catherine is the murder victim. I don't think it's Alfred because his statement was so off the wall that it was like, who talks about birds?
Okay, let's do a hint. Hint number 1. Figure out who wrote that blackmail note and you'll crack the case. Okay.
How do we figure out who?
Because that was easy. The second hint is, are you good with grammar and punctuation? It might help.
Well, that's our downfall right there. That's wrong.
Okay. What are you doing? Cheating?
Just a little bit because we're both very, very bad at grammar. I'm just going to take a picture of this and put it into GPT and see what it says is wrong. That's the only thing I'm doing.
Okay, the third hint, the last and final hint. It's safe to say that high school English teachers don't make obvious grammar mistakes. Oh, got it.
What is it?
It was the ransom note in Edgar.
So I was correct about Edgar.
Okay, well, let's see what this has to say.
Tonight's top story, a cold case murder from nearly 2 decades ago has finally been solved. Edgar Kristoff, a grandson of murder mystery writer Agnes Kristoff, has confessed to murdering Catherine Fox on November 3rd, 2000. According to police, a private investigator tipped them off to a similarity between the writings of Mr. Kristoff and the blackmail note written to the victim the day she was murdered. We'll have more on this story as it develops.
Well, that was lame.
It didn't really give us any good hints on how to figure it out either.
Well, it is a mini case.
Well, this mini case. But I was correct on who did it.
Yeah, just by judging what they look like.
I didn't judge it by what he looked like. I judged it based on his age.
Or we had to figure out who whacked Jack. So this is Jack.
A 68-year-old hanging the man was found murdered in his own backyard early Saturday morning. Officials say Jack Lumberski of 29 Maple Street was discovered by police while responding to a 911 call he placed. He was apparently beaten to death with a 5-iron golf club. Mr. Lumberski has been head groundskeeper for the Huntingdon Country Club for the past 11 years. Sources say Lumberski, who moved in the neighborhood just a few months ago, had been in a heated dispute with some of his neighbors over a tree he recently cut down. Although new to the neighborhood, Lumberski had developed a reputation as a meticulous lawn owner and a bit of a curmudgeon, often heard yelling at his neighbor's kid to get off his luscious carpet of Kentucky bluegrass. When Carl Speckler, who worked for Labrunsky at a golf course, was asked about his late boss, he said Labrunsky was arrogant, condescending, and hard-nosed, but he was sure know how to keep the course in great shape. I'm sure the fairways will miss him. The man knew his way around a golf course, but Jack's people skills were well below par. He'd been divorced 4 times and was estranged from all 6 of his children, said Pam Chetterly, front desk manager at Huntingdon Country Club. Detective Lois Berner is currently questioning 3 suspects, all of whom are Labrunsky's neighbors. If anyone in the vicinity of Maple and Spruce Street has any information regarding the case, please call Detective Sperner at 580-555-4321. Your identity will be kept strictly confidential.
Okay. Well, this is the law office of Murphy. June 6, 2000. Dear Mr. Lumbowski, it's the request of Martin Park, Sam Williams, and Jerry Anderson. This letter hereby prohibits removal of the maple tree, which, according to the server's report, is the joint property of you and 3 affirmationed parties. As of the writing of this letter, said tree is not deceased, nor does it currently pose a threat to life or property. You are within your legal rights to remove whatever branches hang over your property or property line. However, the tree must remain in place and unharmed. According to Mr. Park, when he expressed all 3 property owners' objections to you removing the tree, you replied that you didn't give a rat's patootie and promised to bring a few branches to his next gazebo party and shove 'em where the sun don't shine. Mr. Park, Mr. Williams, and Mr. Anderson have retained my firm for legal counsel regarding this matter. We are prepared to file a lawsuit against you should you ignore mentioned within this letter. Consequently, we hereby request a good faith response to this letter as soon as possible. Okay, so he cut down a tree he wasn't supposed to cut down. So this is a police report. Transcript of 911 call from the Hugnam Police Department Dispatch Center. Dispatcher. 911, what's your emergency? Caller 1. Oh, just caller, my bad. I was just getting dressed for work and I hear this loud bang on the side of my house. So I look out the window into my backyard and now it's dark out, but I can see some moron out there pitching golf balls at my house. Dispatcher, did you say he's hitting golf balls against your house? Caller, yes, that's right. I can see him right now. Can't tell you who it is. I think he's got, is that my 5-iron? Dispatcher, we'll send someone right out. It's 29 Maple Street, right? I have an officer nearby. Caller, yes. Or yeah, that's loud crashing sound. What the? Dispatcher, sir, is everything okay? Caller, that bastard just send one through the window I'm standing at. Dispatcher, are you okay, sir? Are you injured? Caller, don't think so, but there's broken glass everywhere. Dispatcher, sir, please back away from the window. Caller, what the? I don't believe it. He's teeing up again. Dispatcher, sir, please back away from the window. I have a squad car in the area and it should be there in just a few minutes. Caller, I can't. I've got to take another look. I think I know who will slap me silly. It's that dingleberry neighbor of mine. And now he's yelling something. What the? Dispatcher, it's your neighbor? What's he saying? Caller, not sure. Hang on, I'm going to holler at him. What in the Sam Hill's wrong with you? What? No. Dispatcher, sir, are you? Caller, that's not my problem, dipstick. What? Look, I don't care what you planted that tree when it was a seed. Get over it. Look, Nimrod, it was half on my property, so I was well within my... Oh, forget it. Dispatcher, are you still there? Dispatcher, I'm still here. Caller, I'm going out there and straighten this out. I should have known it was him. Dispatcher, sir, I'm not so sure that's a good idea. If you can just wait until the officer... Caller, Limbersky doesn't wait for nobody. I may be an old duffer, but I can take him on any day. You might want to send an ambulance for the butt sniffer putting divots in my Kentucky bluegrass, though. Dispatcher, sir, can you tell me who it is? Sir? Hangs up.
I read both of those, and this guy was a douchebag. Jack, not the other people. I kind of agree with him. He kind of deserved it. Okay, I'll read this one.
He deserved to get killed?
Kinda, yeah. You'll understand. I'll read this one. So this is Martin Park. Our 11-year-old son Toby had been away at camp the past couple of weeks, and while he was gone, I built him a tree house as a birthday surprise, and that very maple tree Lembrunski wanted to chop down. I, along with a couple of my neighbors, had a lawyer prohibit him from doing so, so we figured that took care of that, but we were wrong. When my wife and I brought Toby back from the camps on his birthday, we drove into the driveway to see the the tree along with Toby's new tree house torn down and strewn all over the ground. You cannot even begin to imagine how upset that was for all of us, especially Toby. Labrunsky was a cold, heartless man, and I know I shouldn't say this, but I'm almost glad he's gone. We don't really recall hearing anything out of the ordinary last night. I'm gonna say Martin did it, because he's the only one who didn't say I was asleep. Lisa, spouse. Blah, 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 blah. She was asleep. I grew up in this neighborhood, and everyone always got along before Jack moved in. The first week Jack, the jerk, Labrinsky got here, he decided my above-ground pool, which had been there for almost a decade, was too close to his property. He actually had a guy from town come out to measure. He was about a foot too close. Labrunsky had the audacity to make me take it down, and when I went to move it, it fell apart. I only get the kids every other weekend since my wife left, and now when it's hot, they rather stay at mom's and swim in her pool. Also, I had just finished restoring my dad's old 1964 Mustang. His 80th birthday was coming up, and I wanted to surprise him by pulling it up into the assisted living facility he's at and take him on a little road trip. But that's not going to happen now because when Labrunsky had the tree chopped down, a huge limb fell on top of the Mustang and flattened it. When I asked him what he was going to do about it, he said it wasn't his problem, but he thought it looked better as a convertible anyway. I definitely had beef with the guy, but I didn't want him dead. Not really. I was asleep by myself. Hopefully that doesn't make me look guilty considering it was 4 a.m. You want to read the last one or do you want me to?
You read it.
Okay. Last one. This is Anderson Jerry. I was sound asleep when that crusty old man got himself killed in his own backyard. Ever since he moved in, he acted like everyone else's property belonged to him. Before he even unpacked all of his boxes, Labrunsky had one of his guys from the country club take down my wife's azalea bushes while we were at work. Said he had every right as he was allergic to the bees that they attract. The only thing he was allergic to was displaying common decency. She was in tears for days. Also, my wife's been battling skin cancer on and off for the last few years, and having all the shade in our backyard from that big maple tree, the one he just chopped down, meant so much to her. So once again, at Jack Labrunsky's hands, my wife is beside herself. I was fast asleep last night at 4 a.m. Sorry I can't be more help. What happened to him wasn't right, but as nasty as that man is to everyone, I can almost see how someone could lose it and want to whack that man himself. Or whack that bastard. So the only one who didn't say he was asleep was Martin Park. And he said his wife was asleep beside him. He was sleeping alone, and this one said she was asleep. But he didn't say that he was asleep, and obviously whoever made the phone call was the...
This one said he wasn't asleep.
Oh, Martin. So this was Labrunsky who made the call.
Yes.
I just got that. Yeah, my guess it was Martin Park. And my reasoning is he's the only one who didn't say he was asleep. Like, everyone else made it clear that they were asleep. Wait, who said that they lived in this neighborhood the longest? Somebody said that they lived in this neighborhood since they were a kid. And it says right here, I don't care that you planted that tree when it was a seed. Get over it. I grew up in this neighborhood. Sam Williams. He did it.
Okay, so that's what you're going with?
Yep, I'm going with Sam Williams. And if whatever the evidence it asks for, it's probably the police department thingy. Labrunsky sucks. Honestly, I agree. Like, this man sounded like a douchebag.
Who whacked Jack? Think you know who killed Jack Lumbersky? Prove it below to solve the case. And we'll do... Yeah, these are not in there.
Oh.
It's newspaper article, picture of Lumbersky, alive and dead, 911 call transcript, lawyer's letter, and suspect corkboard. So it's newspaper article, alive and dead, 911 call transcript, the lawyer's letter, and the suspect corkboard. So these don't matter.
So it's this.
So however you came up with your information was wrong. But let's see if we can...
Because these don't show anything.
Well, neither does the stupid police report.
Well, it says somebody, I don't care that you've lived here.
Yeah, but how are you connecting it with these other ones?
I will figure it out. You guys said trees not diseased nowhere.
Oh, you only need one. Which line is necessary for the clue?
18.
Looks like you're on the right track. Which other item is needed for your case?
Police dispatch thingy.
No, it doesn't have that on there.
Oh.
Article, live dead, letter, corkboard, or picture of stump. It's a picture of the stump. So who killed him? We'll go with Sam. That's not right. The one that you said that killed him is not right.
I don't know who killed him then.
I'm going with Martin because he looks like he would kill him. That's also wrong.
So it's Jerry?
Yeah, it's Jerry.
Wow.
Jerry killed him.
I'm Jordan Elliott with Channel 4 News. Tonight's top story: a local murder committed over 20 years ago has finally been solved. In the summer of 2000, Huntington resident Jack Lippersky was found beaten to death in his own backyard. Police believe the killer was one of his three neighbors, but were unable to determine who until today, when an independent investigator tipped police off a detail from the 911 call transcript that proved Jerry Anderson must have been the killer. When confronted with the evidence, Anderson confessed he is expected to spend the rest of his life behind bars.
If it wasn't for the police report, we wouldn't have. I still want to know how it was Jerry. Okay, this one looks thicker. What is this one?
So this is an unsolved murder. Case file is called Deadly Coffee. Case number 11125. Location, Flair Cafe. Time of report, 9:47 p.m. So what said this? To this. Okay. Before note. Upon arrival at 9:47 p.m., the scene was as follows. The victim identified as
Ramsha?
Okay.
Jamshed? Ramsha Jamshed.
Okay, the victim identified as Ram, female 22, was found lying on the floor in the rear alcove beside a fallen wooden chair. She was in a supine position, head turned to the side. Frothy white foam mixed with blood was present around her mouth and pooling beneath her face.
Well, she was poisoned.
A half-consumed black coffee in a plastic cup lay overturned on the table above. Its contents spilled across the surface and dripping onto the floor near the victim's shoulder. The victim's hands were clenched, and there were signs of agonal movements. Scuff marks on the floor near feet. No visible trauma or defensive wounds. The body was still warm. Lividity not yet fixed. Estimated time of death within the last 30 to 45 minutes. 4 individuals were present in the cafe at the time of the incident. Seated at a large table near the alcove, they identified themselves as friends of the victim and witnesses. They were detained for initial interviews. Okay, here's the scene of the crime.
Look at the scene of the crime.
There's one witness statement. 2.
That coffee just looks
3.
gross.
There's the 6 witnesses. Here's the coffee order. Okay.
I'm sorry. Does that say she paid $1,490?
RS.
RS, okay. I will start reading the witness statements. Full name. Mayor Ali, age 21. Date of birth, November 23rd, 2003. Occupation, student. Relationship to victim, friend. We've been friends since freshman year. Tonight we were studying for our midterms. Ram, Sana, Hasan, Zaid, and me. We all started in the evening. Everything was normal. We were all focused. At some point, we decided to order drinks. I ordered a caramel macchiato, same as Ramsha. Ram. Sana got an Americano. Hasan got a brownie shake, and Zaid got a latte. I needed to use the restroom at one point. There in the basement. When I came back, everyone was at the table. I didn't notice anything strange. Later, Sana said she didn't like her coffee and asked if anyone wanted it. Ramsa said she'd try it. She took a few sips and then she started choking. It was horrible. She fell out of her chair, foam coming from her mouth. I screamed. Hasten called 911. We didn't know what to do. Ram was my best friend. I don't understand what happened. Sana Khan. We were studying. I ordered a black coffee because I'm trying to cut down on sugar. Around 9, I was left alone. Zaid went to grab our order. Mayor and Ram said they wanted to use the restroom. She did it.
We have to read the others first.
I know, but like, Hasten wanted fresh air. After that, everything was a bit fuzzy. I think I zoned out. The next thing I know, Ramsha was on the floor. I was so scared. I think I screamed. I don't know why. I can't remember clearly. Maybe it's shocked. I have been friends with her for years. This can't be real. I'm going to put her off to the side because her statement already was different than her statement. So something's off. Hasten. We were studying. I was tired. Didn't sleep well last night. At one point, I stepped outside for some fresh air. I was gone maybe 10 minutes or so. When I came back, only Sana was there. I sat down and continued reading. Then Sana offered her coffee to Ram. Ram took a few sips and suddenly started choking. It was terrifying. I called 911 immediately. I tried to help, but she was convulsing and then stopped breathing. I don't know how this happened. Could the coffee be bad? Is that possible? So he kind of connected these two. Kind of. This is Zaid. I went to get drinks. I went to the counter, placed the order, and waited. It took maybe 10 minutes because they were busy. I brought the drinks back on a tray and set them on the table. Everyone took their own. I had my latte. Then Sana said she didn't want her coffee. Ram volunteered to drink it. I didn't think anything of it. Then Ram started choking. It was horrific. I didn't know what to do. Mayor was screaming. Hasten called 911. I just stood there in shock. This is Yusfa Yasmin. I've been working here about 8 months. Tonight was busy. We had a pottery reading earlier, so there was a crowd. The order came in around 8:45, I think. 5 drinks, 2 caramel macchiatos, 1 Americano, 1 brownie shake, 1 latte. I made them myself. I remember specifically because the black coffee was simple, just drip, but the macchiato took longer. The guy came to pick them up, tall, dark hair, had a beard. He waited at the counter while I finished the last drink. I put everything on a tray, and he took it. That's when I saw that's the last I saw of the drinks until everything happened. I didn't put anything in those drinks. We're careful here. The cups are right. I make them in front of the counter. There's no way I mixed up something or added anything. If anything was in that coffee, it happened after it left my hands. Last statement. Rashid Forqua. He's a security guard. I work part-time here, keep an eye on things, help with closing, make sure no one stays past midnight. Tonight I was doing my usual rounds. I go outside every hour or so to check the alley, make sure no one's loitering or smoking when they shouldn't. Around maybe 9-ish, I went back out for a smoke break. That's when I saw 2 people in the alleyway. A guy and a girl, looked young, students. They were standing close together talking. The girl had long dark hair. The guy was wearing a hoodie. I think dark gray. I didn't think much of it. People step out to talk all the time. They weren't arguing anything, just talking. After maybe 2 minutes, they separated. The girl went back inside, through the side door, the one near the restrooms. The guy went around front. I finished my smoke and went back in. Later, when everything happened and the police arrived, I saw the same 2. The girl with the dark hair, was sitting at the table with the others. The guy in the hoodie, I think that's the one who called 911. I didn't say anything at first because I wasn't sure, but now I'm pretty sure it was them. I don't know what they were doing. It just looked like a private conversation. Do we get to decipher things?
Yeah, there's 3 of them.
From what the security guy said, he is a suspect and she is a suspect. So Mayor and Hasten?
Okay, this says, this was found in Amir's pocket. Remember, I will give you the thrill in your life. TSP. And this is her house. Okay, hang on.
Mare seems so hard to reach. She never seems to understand emotions, hers or others. I once saw her laugh at a funeral. She said she didn't know why people were sad. It's like she's missing something. I wonder if it's a condition. And then there's a little puzzle that we have to solve. And that was on October 2nd, 2005. September 15th, 2025. Sometimes I wonder if I really know my friends. We've been together for years, but everyone has secrets. Sana, for instance, I've noticed she has 3 blank moments. Like she's not there. Professor Ahmad mentioned something about dissociative disorders in class, and it made me think of her. I should ask her about it, but I don't want to pray. Zaid is different. He's always been intense, but lately he's been talking about unique minds and the beauty of darkness. He invited me to his house once, and I saw something weird.
Yeah, drugs.
Lots and lots of drugs. Okay. Whiteboard in Zaid's secret room.
I don't exactly know what I'm supposed to be looking at here.
Does this go? Probably not. No. Is there another answer key somewhere?
No, this is it.
The silent patient. Oh, wait. See? No, that doesn't make sense.
Movie's over,
Oh, wow.
so we can either pack this up and wait for a different time.
So for what I got so far is I fear Zaid's not only passionate about writing gore, but also wants to emulate it. We're gonna pause here, guys. But just know I'm very proud of myself for figuring this out. This movie wasn't as long as I thought it was, or those mini ones took a lot longer than what we... Time flies when you're having fun.
Psycho was the first film to show what on screen? Cross-dressing, a woman in a shower, blood, a toilet. I know this answer.
I don't know. I'm gonna go B.
I'm going with D.
That's my answer to D.
No. D, a toilet. Please like and subscribe.
Hit the bell so you can get notifications when we post our episodes.
Thank you for listening to
Dark
Dark Conversations.
Have a good night and
And keep your darkness at bay.
bye!